Hey, what's up, YouTube? Sorry I haven't uploaded to this channel here in a while, but this is ORMM here, and this is a subject that I've been wanting to talk about for some time, and I honestly thought that now would be the best time to talk about it, because, I've been seeing this with a lot of people lately, the AI stuff, people making AI of certain people, especially celebrities or politicians or whatever, saying things and, people believing it and all that stuff. And, it's just something that I want to respond to. But first off, before I get too far in the video, this YouTuber that I watch, Brandon Buckingham, I guess, he's not doing too well. My heart goes out to him big time. I am thinking and praying for him, praying for his family, all of his friends, and everybody else that cared for him. Brandon, I hope that you do well and you're able to get a speedy recovery. I'm sorry to hear about what happened, man. For those of you who don't know Brandon Buckingham, or if you do know him but you don't know what's going on, just get on his YouTube and or check out his Instagram and you'll know what I'm talking about. The dude was not in the best of shape, so for that I am praying for the dude and praying that a miracle happens with him. But I'll try not to stutter or sound like I'm speaking gibberish or whatever. But anyways, so with that out of the way, with all this AI stuff, don't get me wrong, I do understand why some people use AI, like, especially if they're doing it for themselves or whatever, trying to make themselves look better or whatnot. Certain YouTubers out there started using it. People are using it to make themselves sound like they're talented, especially with music, or they take somebody else's voice and make their voice sing the song. Like, you type in AI song covers and, you get a good laugh out of some of these song covers out there, because I mean, you listen to people like Eminem sing a country song or whatever, or listen to cartoon characters like SpongeBob or Doofenshmirtz sing rap or sing. It's, I won't lie, that stuff is funny. That stuff has been coming out for like 2 years now, and just hearing people, hearing people sing, even though it's not actually them singing. I mean, that part, I think it's pretty hilarious and pretty cool at the same time. People are making certain YouTubers do it as well and all that, certain actors, whatever. But then you got people out there that are just using AI to make certain people out there say things that they would not say. People doing it to YouTubers like Queso or Penguin Zero or, Shalat or any other YouTuber out there, Ben Shapiro. I could go on and on with my list. And then you got people out there that are doing it with celebrities as well, like sitting there claiming that Jelly Roll said this, Chris Daughtry did that, Eminem and Dax are talking about doing a song together. Oh, Drake and The Weeknd put out a song a few years ago and it turned out to be a banger, which it wasn't even them that sang. It was some YouTuber that put together the song and then put Drake's voice and The Weeknd's voice on it. I understand with things like that people will have issues with, and then people using somebody else's voice to say things that just are not true or whatever. Like, people do it all the time with politics and all this. And, people out there, my biggest issue with it is, there's a lot of people out there that don't realize it's AI and they get misled by it. I've seen it so many times with politics, people making it sound like Donald Trump is saying something, or Joe Biden is saying something or whatnot, and then, people are claiming that, Jelly Roll is speaking out about this and that when really he isn't. It's just, people fall for that stuff, and it's freaking ridiculous. It's like people that just don't like certain people out there just trying to use AI to make them say things that will make a lot of people believe it. It's just ridiculous. Like, look, if you're going to use AI for certain things like song covers, or, if you're doing one of yourself, trying to read something or whatnot, like, you want to make yourself sound like you're talented in a song or whatever, like, hey, you do you. I'm not against that. I mean, in some cases, yeah, I would be. But for most part, like, if you're just having some fun with it, like, giving out some sort of AI speech or whatever, hey, you do you. But at the same time, it's just weird in my opinion. So many people out there are getting misled by this AI stuff. Like, the sad thing is, it's happening more and more. You get a lot of people out there that probably don't do much research. You come across a certain post on Facebook or whatever, and I don't really know if you would put this in the same category as AI, but, some people will post a picture or whatever of, like, a certain celebrity, and there's a caption underneath it that says, oh, if you are okay with this, or if you are against that, or whatever, then you know what? Don't watch my movies, don't listen to my music, don't do blah, 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 blah. And okay, there are certain celebrities out there that have gone on to say, oh, if you support this, or if you're okay with that, or whatever, then, don't listen to my stuff, don't watch my movies, whatever. But then you got people out there that are just out there misleading people, coming out with fake articles, linking them in the comments and going, this is what this person said, this is what that person said. It's just, you get a lot of people out there that don't do their research and they believe this stuff. Like, I guess in the past few days, Chris Daughtry got mad because people were making fake posts online about him, about Charlie Kirk, and, he got online and was like, oh, I am not with MAGA, I don't do this, I don't do that, blah, 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 which, I mean, I'm not going to jump into politics on this, I mean, I'm not here to talk about MAGA or, people on the left or whatever, I actually have watched Charlie Kirk's videos on many occasions, and, I mean, rest in peace to him, Well, I still think what happened to him was pretty messed up, but, I can't say that I blame Chris Daughtry for getting mad. I mean, I again, not to get political, I mean, I disagree with him on his politics, but at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, well, he said this, oh, well, he said that, like, whatever. I've been a fan of his music for quite some time, so you know what, whatever. I'm used to people thinking differently, whatever. But, yeah, as far as this AI crap, it's just, in my opinion, I think it's weird. in a lot of cases out there, I think it's dishonest. And I think a lot of people out there are just taking too much advantage of it, making certain people say things that they would not actually say, or, making certain people out there say things that shouldn't be said. And in some cases, a buddy of mine brought this up to my attention, but, you got people making, people being bullies. If they're trying to bully somebody, they make certain videos of them saying things or doing things that didn't actually happen. And, things like that go around. And, I mean, it's messed up. I think people are getting way too far with the AI stuff, especially with certain things out there. It's like, again, if you want to have some fun with it, like, do whatever, free country. I don't care, but at the same time, I honestly think the misleading and all that, like, that stuff is it just blows my mind that people will make certain AI videos of somebody saying certain things, and, you get a lot of dumb people out there that just believe that stuff. They eat all that stuff up, and, they sit there and they're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he just said that, or she just said that. Like, it's like, dude, either go do some research or get off the internet for a little while. Like, there has always been this saying, for as long as I've been on the internet. I'm sure it's been on for a lot of people for quite some time, but there's that saying out there that says, don't believe everything you see on the internet. I mean, have people forgotten about that? Just curious, And this is stuff, it's getting worse and worse, I mean, yeah, there's certain things out there that I think are cool with AI, but at the same time, you got people that have nothing better to do that want to sit there and make people say things that they wouldn't say, I mean, especially if it's something critical, And then there was talk that, certain people are making AI political commercials too, which I think is completely stupid, you know. People are going to believe what they want to believe. I guess I got no control over that, but still, just in my opinion, I think this AI stuff is just getting way too far out of hand. Anyways, that's all I gotta say. I'm sure I'm going to receive some judgment, people saying certain things like, oh, you don't understand. I mean, people use it for this and that. And, maybe there are certain people that have said things like that, blah, 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 which, whatever. Again, I guess that's your opinion, and I can't control that, but it's just my biggest issue is people use it and make certain people say certain things, and a lot of people just eat that stuff up, That is my biggest issue with AI. Again, I've said it multiple times, if you're having some fun with it, like, making music, making certain people sing certain songs or whatever, like, hey, whatever. I mean, I think that stuff is funny and cool at the same time, but outside of that, I mean, I just think this AI stuff is just weird. And it just seems to be getting even weirder and weirder. That's for sure. That's all I'm going to say. I don't really upload to this channel much often, but if you agree with what I said, you know, feel free to subscribe, do whatever. Yeah, you guys take care now. Peace out. And also, happy early Thanksgiving, everybody.